Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
They win the final game 5-2 to remain the baseball champions of the world. The Yankees, with this 9-0 crusher, have won their 17th World Series.
The Yankees again are world champions.
The Yankees win their 21st World Series.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Ball game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.
All right, welcome back to the Chase for 28. ALDS Game 1 is in the books. Yankees are winners 6-5 over the Royals. My name is Chris, and I am joined, as promised, making a return to the podcast Paisano. What's going on, AJ? How you been?
Christopher, what's going on? Been watching Yankee baseball and living and dying by every pitch. This has been a rough season. I got to be honest with you. This game was not any easier.
No, this game was absolute garbage.
Garbage.
So, where do you want to start on a win? I mean, they won the game.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with that, right? Let's start with that. The fact that they're up 1-0 on the Royals in a 6-5 victory. That was too close for comfort, but 1-0. And that's a great place to be right now because it kind of puts them in the driver's seat, right?
It does.
So,
I'd rather be up 1-0 in a garbage game than down 1-0.
There was there was a lot tonight, that things that you have discussed over this season, things we have discussed in the past. It was I don't know which way I want to go first, but you want to go with positives first?
Let's go positives. So positives, they won.
That's the one. Yes, they won. Positive. Holmes, Canely, Weaver looked solid,
and Weaver getting his first postseason save looked really good.
4-out save, 4-out save nonetheless. Yeah. So that's a major positive, and I think that's a good thing going forward. That if that's the back end of the bullpen, we get 7, 8, 9 out of that. Great. Beautiful.
Yes, that is not a bad 7, 8, 9.
Right. Positive. Soto, 3 hits tonight. Beautiful.
First hit as a Yankee in the playoffs. Got a double. Yeah,
that's it. Beautiful
One
way
pretty,
to start.
But it was a double.
Beautiful way to start. I'll go another positive. I'll go with Gleyber Torres, being a leadoff guy. Stayed hot from what he did at the end of the season. And my other positive is going to be Verdugo.
Surprisingly.
Great game today for Verdugo.
Yeah, he proved me wrong. And the podcast Padre, we were in our regular episode that we recorded today and released today, we were both hoping for Domínguez to be in left, and maybe you make Verdugo that late game replacement defensively. Yeah.
Well, that's probably going to be solidified now. That's Verdugo's position because Domínguez can't play left field.
Well, I mean, Verdugo's performance tonight makes that decision look easier. Like, yes, Aaron Boone pushed the right buttons.
Right. It worked.
But would you be surprised if on Monday night you've got Domínguez in left?
Can I be honest?
Sure.
I'd rather see him at DH.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to the negatives yet, but
right. That's I was going to hold on to that.
Okay. We'll hold on to it. We know where you're going with it.
Yep.
But we'll hold on to it.
But to answer that question, would I be surprised? No, but I'd rather see him at DH.
Yeah.
Any other positive for you that I didn't say?
Positives. As I think about the game, I thought that Oswaldo Cabrera did a nice job playing first base today in the absence of Anthony Rizzo.
Agreed.
Had a couple scoops. Had to make some plays.
Held the base very nicely a bunch of times.
Yeah. I'll be honest. As a career first baseman, a right-handed first baseman, I don't like the way he holds, or a lot of right-handed first basemen hold runners on the way they position them physically. It's not how I would do it, so I don't like it. But
how do you do it? How do you do it?
So I would position my right leg on the bag, and I would be kind of up, like I'd be parallel to the first baseline. And I bring my glove out in front so I can do a big target. I'm a bigger guy, target, and I can snap that tag right down over the runner. Whereas I feel like the way these guys are kind of playing a little bit in front of the bag.
Yeah.
They're given the big target, but they got to catch it and then reach behind them to tag a runner potentially.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't like that.
I get it. He's learning. Look, it's in a pinch, and I think he was probably the better option than Ben Rice right now.
I would say, you know what? I think Ben Rice would have done the same job defensively. I don't know that we would have gotten the same at bats out of Ben Rice today.
That's what I meant by would have done a better. Yes, I think offensively, Cabrera comes on in the right spots, and he's been hitting. But I think we'll see Ben Rice throughout this series at some point.
I think so.
Probably if we're up 2-0 when we go to Kansas City, if we're up 2-0, I think we'll see Ben Rice start that game.
Yeah. You'll definitely see guys in a up 2-0 situation that maybe didn't get any time, just to give the other guys a breather going into a potential ALCS.
Yeah, agree.
All right, you mentioned Gleyber Torres, and from the Sterling cam, courtesy of WFAN. Here we go.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Fan on the track. He's at the wall. She's gone. It's Gleyber Day. He's at his best when he hits to right and right center. And he just drilled a 2-run home run to right. And like a good Gleyber, Torres is there.
It's nice to have John back in the booth.
You got to be honest. I wish I was listening to him and not Bob Costas.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was even my kids were like, what is this guy even talking about? Like, is anybody listening to him? He was horrendous.
He did the same stuff last year.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm sure you get some of the references of things he's talking about. I get it. But your kids, they're not getting Bob Costas.
Oh, no, he's not. He doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. The boys were listening in the last inning, and I guess it was Ron Darling was like, it's like, there's not an empty seat in the house. And he's like, well, they're all standing.
Yes.
So they're all empty. And my kid's like, that is so cringe. And I'm like, oh,
that is so
God.
stupid.
Like, Bob, just let it go, man. Just let it go.
Put Bob Costas back in the closet and bring him back out when the NBA returns to NBC in the fall of 2025.
Seriously. Or let him do the Olympics. Like, I don't even want to hear him. Like, it was like awful. Like, this is the guy you're putting on. Like, it was
And let's be honest, Ron Darling wasn't any better. He knows baseball, but he gives me Joe Morgan vibes.
Ooh.
Remember how Joe Morgan hated the Yankees?
Yes. And look, Ron's good. I listen to Ron when I listen to Mets games, you know?
Ron is good. Ron is very knowledgeable. And Joe Morgan was good. But, I know. I'm with
you. I didn't enjoy it. I could have listened to the game on mute and listened to the radio, but all good.
It's tough to sync up, though.
Exactly. Especially on the app, it never works out.
Never works. And to start the game, I was in the city today. We went to see a show, little matinee action, and was coming back on the train and went to go on the Odyssey app to listen to the game tonight. They had the Rutgers game on the Odyssey app. You couldn't listen to the Yankee game on the Odyssey app.
Oh, you had to do WFAN too? Is that what it was?
Not on the Odyssey app. They were only streaming the Rutgers game, the football game.
Oh, you got to go to you got to find WFAN 2. There's a second app? WFAN. Yes. I've saved both because of that.
Okay. Note to myself and you who else is listening and was like, wait a second.
I believe WFAN 2 on Odyssey is 660.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Fun facts for later.
Fun facts.
All right, we went through positives, and I know we're gonna try to push this quick because we got a lot of games we're gonna go through.
Yes.
The negatives. Where do you want to start there? I have so many. I'm not angry. I'm not because they won, but I am certainly concerned.
Here's my number one negative. Which Gerrit Cole is going to show up and pitch these games?
That was my number one too.
He's your big free agent acquisition from a couple years ago. I'll be honest, after watching him pitch tonight, I don't think it's right to say he gutted out 6 innings because
he didn't.
He didn't gut it. I mean, he got through 6 innings.
That's what it was. He luckily got through.
There was a point, I'm watching. I thought to myself, opt out. Opt out after this.
It's okay. We'll be okay.
It's okay. We will be. We can replace that.
Right.
Because this is what we pay you for.
Right. My biggest concern, legit, was the fact that I think in my mind it might not have been as excessive as I'm saying it, but I think the first 8 or 9 batters hit the ball extremely hard, whether it was an out or not. Everybody was hitting. I don't think he got a strikeout until the third inning, or he did not have swing and miss stuff tonight.
No,
he did not
even close. So his line tonight: 5 innings pitched because he went into the 6th, but did not record an out.
Right.
5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and obviously gave up a home run as well.
Yep. Like, and these guys are hitting him, and they're batting like in their low 200s.
They're the freaking Royals.
I know.
I'm sorry. I showed them some respect in the full episode I recorded today, but seeing their numbers and their season stats as I'm watching the game in their lower thirds today, there were points in this game where the offense should have blown it open. Want to talk about the offense? Yeah, we scored 6 runs tonight, but
we should have scored 6 runs in the first inning, Chris.
Yes. They had second and third, nobody out. Judge, Stanton, Wells, or Judge, Wells, and Stanton coming up.
Right. But
that's Yankee playoff baseball, going 1 for 9 or 11 with runners in scoring position.
That's the situation. Like, Judge had an awful game again. Stanton had an awful game again. Those are both negatives for me because those guys can't do that. You can't have that many strikeouts. Can't.
Playoff
especially with
Judge
guys on base. Right.
Playoff
right.
Judge.
And like maybe he just needs to get into the groove. Fine. But you can't have that many strikeouts.
He doesn't have a history of that.
Right. I know.
Doesn't have a history of being good in the playoffs.
But I'm just hoping that, he had a break. He didn't see the ball since the Pittsburgh series. He had five games where the home runs. So I'm hoping he'll get to that. And maybe today was just a bad day. But you can't. You gotta, and I know this is a Yankee podcast, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched the Mets game today.
I did too.
And they scored 6 runs, 0 home runs. They hit with guys on base. They put the ball in play. They made the other team make mistakes. And when they needed a fly ball, they got a fly ball. The Yankees did nothing. I was calling exactly what was going to happen because I can't stand the contact play with Gleyber Torres on third base. Why is he the guy you're making run on contact to try to score on a ground ball? He has no speed. He cannot do that.
Maybe with a better secondary lead coming off of third?
I thought about that too. Yes. If that's the play, why is he not down the line further? He was out no matter what. But at least make a play where there's more pressure.
Yeah.
Like, he was out by 30 feet.
It wasn't good. I mean, the home run kind of makes up for that because he contributed.
Yeah, a little bit.
A 2-run homer is a 2-run homer. I mean, on the day he was 1 for 3, scored 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, the strikeout, but obviously another bad base running play. And do you pin that on him, or are you pinning that on?
I don't put that on him.
I saw people on Twitter pinning that on Rojas. That's not his call.
No, that's not his call. He knows what the situation is. Maybe that's the culture of the team, and we all know that.
Yeah.
Like, you want to keep going? You want to put something on Boone? Why are we playing the infield in with second and third? There's no reason for that.
Not at that point in the game, no.
That could have been super dangerous. Like, you get the ground ball, you would have had it, you hold the guy at second base, you give up the 1 run to tie the game, not to give up the lead.
Right. You gave up a base hit and 2 runs scored.
Unbelievable. That was a bad play.
Yeah. Let's see. What else didn't I like? Or no, go ahead. What else didn't you like?
Well, like you said, Cole was not impressive. Judge, not impressive. Stanton, not impressive.
And that speaks to your point from earlier.
Go ahead.
Put Domínguez at DH.
Domínguez DH. Just to try it. I mean, we got to do something. Like, I'm sorry. Ground ball to third base. Dude at third base dives. Stands up. He's like, what do I do with the ball? Oh, I'm going to still throw it to first base because Stanton can't get down the line.
Yeah. I had to explain to my wife. She goes, wait, because she heard Bob Costa say, oh, he can't get down the line. She goes, what does he mean he can't get down the line? I'm like, well, while he's a physical specimen, he is wound tighter than a rubber band around a tree.
Right.
And if he walks too fast, his hamstring will fly off.
Yeah. Yep. And look,
and he looked bad at the plate, swinging the bad pitches.
Bases loaded. You pop up to the catcher, put the ball in the outfield, man. Like,
he's feast or famine.
Yeah.
As they say.
Unfortunately. And I don't know what Domínguez is going to do.
People say it's either, home run or strikeout. Well, with Stanton, it's home run, strikeout, or awkward pop out.
Right.
So I'm with you. If Domínguez isn't going to play in left field, then maybe we don't want him in the outfield.
Right.
Get his bat in the lineup. Get his speed on the field. Because maybe Stanton can be that off the bench pinch hit thing where he's still a threat at the plate in the right situation, I think.
I think so. I mean, just because of what he can do. You know, he can hit the ball 480 feet.
Yes.
But like, I don't.
And against this Royals bullpen, which they wet the bed tonight. I mean, they walked the ballpark. They walked the ballpark, which goes back to a positive. Yankees showed a lot of patience drawing walks and scoring runs on bases loaded walks.
Yeah. That's a major positive. You know, we worked the count. I love that. I would like to see more timely hitting than working the count. You know, because you got to put the fear in the other team that, oh, you're going to pitch the ball, they're going to make contact. Not, well, we'll just pitch it over the plate. You know, because now the game plan is not going to be let's pitch around these guys because they know how to take pitches. Now it's going to be let's just keep hitting them with that sinker low and away, up high.
They took too many pitches on 2-0.
Yeah, that
brought the count 2-1 or 3-1 or
I agree with that.
2-2, 2-2. Right.
I agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah, work the count, but you know when you get to the point where you now have a starter in the game in Michael Lorenzen, we're not working the count because him coming in the sixth, he can go 6, 7, 8, 9 if they needed him to go multiple innings. So you're not going to run up his pitch count because he can throw 100 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're halfway through the game, he can finish the game.
Yep.
Now I think to our benefit, the Royals taking out Michael Wacha way too early.
Way too early.
But that worked in our favor.
Sure did. Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of these managers, like you watch this postseason, a lot of these managers are overthinking things.
Yeah.
You know, I think the Brewers did it against the Mets in that series. And I think tonight you saw it. I think the Orioles did it in their series. So, you know, these guys are afraid to make mistakes and then you're making mistakes.
Let me ask you this only because I was surprised and so was the missus.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that Jazz Chisholm was out at second base on that steal when they went to the replay review?
I did not see the replay. I was listening to it in the car. I was on the way home. And Susan and John said over and over that he's out. So if they saying it.
The replays they showed on TBS, and I've got some bones to pick with TBS before we go tonight as well, besides Bob Costas. The angles that they were showing, I get it. In the command center in the league office, I guess they have more cameras and angles.
Mm-hmm.
Everything TBS showed, slowing it down, getting as close as they had on his foot. Mm-hmm. There was daylight between his heel and the bag. We're talking 1/8 of an inch where you could still see through and got the tag. I thought even his foot came up off the bag when he popped up. Was the tag still on him? But that wasn't the case.
Interesting.
I didn't. But I said, he's going to be out, and we're going to be run out of the inning.
Right. Luckily, we're not, because then Jazz goes in our favor. Single. There you go. It worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
Real quick, bones to pick with TBS. Besides Bob Costas, I don't know if when you were watching it at any point, I felt that a lot of the audio where you pick up the stadium sound sounded very muted, and you did not really feel like you were in the ballpark. I felt like I was sitting in a closet with Bob and Ron.
Yeah.
And not getting a lot of that stadium stuff. And it seemed like it was actually muted at some points where you would hear them talk, but not hear anything coming out of the stadium.
Yeah, it's funny that one of my sons was saying that. He's like, why is it so quiet there? Like, he's like, it's a big moment. Why is it so quiet? Like the Philly game, they were so loud. And I was like, I don't know.
Channel.
I was like, that's all I could think about too. But I was like,
TBS.
I was like,
we're not going to explain that to a 9-year-old.
Yeah, seriously. But no, I did notice that it was a lot of them, which was annoying on its own.
Yes, it was. Any other thoughts? Because, it's late. We both need to get to bed. We got to get ready for game 2.
Any other? Well, we have a day off tomorrow. So that's I don't like that. I want to talk about that real quick.
Go ahead.
Why are they off? Why is there an off day? Like,
don't know. But you know what's weird?
Why is everybody else playing?
I didn't realize this. This is the only division series that is going to require plane travel.
Oh, look at that. Interesting. Huh.
This is also the only division series not featuring division rivals.
That's pretty crazy. Look at that.
Because you got the Padres and the Dodgers.
Yep.
You got the Phillies and the Mets. You got the Tigers and the
Guardians,
all in their divisions, and we're playing the Royals.
Nice. Could have been the
Orioles. To which
Orioles.
Bob Costas said, which also sounded really dumb. He said that all those other series, the players should travel by train.
Oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yes.
He's like, and Ron Darlington, maybe a top hat. And I'm like, what is happening? What are we talking about?
But hey, in the end, we are one win closer to a World Series championship. One win down, 11 more to go.
I got to be honest, real quick before we go.
No, not 11. Hold on. 4, 8. We need 2 more.
10.
Yeah. One down, 10 to go.
This might be the most stressful playoff run for me.
Why?
Because in my mind, I'm like, this is the best path we can envision for the Yankees to go to the World Series.
They've been talking about it. It's been 15 years. I talked about this morning.
Okay.
To borrow from Michael Kay, it's not that the Red Sea has been parted and it's just walked to the World Series, but the Orioles are out. They've been tough on the Yankees the last 2 seasons. The Astros are out, who eliminated the Yankees 5 out of the last 9 postseasons.
Yep.
They're out. Yep. Go beat the Royals and go beat the Guardians or beat the Tigers.
It's probably the Guardians, to be honest with you, watching them.
Oh, yeah, the Guardians look good today.
Right. If we don't get past the Royals, heads will roll. I'm sorry. And if it doesn't happen that way, then there's something more than we need to do. Because I'm not saying, the Royals are a good team. They're a scrappy bunch. They could be like last year's Diamondbacks. But the Yankees are a better overall team that should win this handily.
I feel like last year's Diamondbacks might be, they might call Flushing home.
Ooh, be careful with that one.
Nothing would make me happier than to jinx them, so why not throw it out there?
Okay, there we go. Look, all I know is we gotta just keep going out there with these Yankees. Go get the wins that we need to get. Let's see what happens on Monday night.
Yes. And you know that the league is salivating at the prospect of Yankees-Dodgers. They got this commercial running for the postseason where all it does is they cut back and forth between Judge and Ohtani.
Ohtani and Judge. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
All right.
You got a 6-5 game right now in the Padres and Dodgers. Wow.
What inning?
This is the 5th.
All right. Hey, you're in the future. You know what happened. AJ and I do not. But we'll be back on Monday night after the game with a Game 2 reaction. And we'll take you through the week after each game. And I'll be back with the Podcast Padre next Friday night, hopefully getting ready to settle into the ALCS. And there we go. Make sure you follow us on Twitter @ChaseFor28Pod. Send us your feedback and thoughts on Game 1. Be happy to share some stuff before Game 2 or after Game 2 in that reaction. And go listen to today's episode, full episode. We got the trivia question. And get your guesses in. Thanks for listening. And we'll be back on Monday night. Take care, my friend.
Let's go Yankees.
Go Yankees.